Let's try a strategy that I often employ to try to visualize the moon's phase based on its position in orbit. So we're going to imagine standing on the Earth, looking at the moon, specifically viewing it from the northern hemisphere. So here's a picture of the moon orbiting the Earth. You'll notice that it's orbiting counterclockwise. So we're looking at it down from above the Earth's north pole. Sunlight is coming in from the right. Now, in the moon's current position there, the way we can try to visualize the moon's phase is first by drawing in a couple lines of sight. So a couple guiding lines that indicate this is the direction that we're looking at the moon from the Earth. So we're imagining ourselves standing on the Earth's surface in between those lines, looking at the moon. We're going to block off the far side of the moon since we can't actually see that. And then we're going to notice that the illuminated portion of the moon that's inside those guiding lines is about 3/4 or so. So it's more than half, but it's not completely illuminated. And you'll notice that on the left there's a wedge of shadow there. And so this corresponds then to the phase of the moon where the left portion of the moon has a wedge of shadow on it. What phase of the moon is that? That's a waxing gibbous. A gibbous is the more than half illuminated view from our perspective on the Earth. And then it's waxing because it's moving in its orbit closer and closer toward full, becoming increasingly illuminated as it goes. All right, let's try that again from a different position now. So we're now looking at the moon down there in the lower right. Once again, we're going to draw in our line of sight with some guiding lines. We'll then block off the far side since we can't see that portion anyway. We don't want to be confused. So now looking at the moon that we can see inside those guiding lines, you'll notice that if we imagine standing on the Earth looking at it, you might have to tip your head a little bit to try to get that perspective. The left portion of the moon is going to be illuminated, but most of it is in shadow. So the left portion is actually an illuminated wedge, just a piece of it though, which is less than half from our viewing perspective, which means that this is going to look like a crescent with the left portion illuminated. What phase is that? That's a waning crescent. Crescent, of course, because it's obviously a crescent shape. Waning because in its orbital path it's going in decreasing amounts of illumination from our viewing perspective, closer and closer to the new phase. All right, let's try a quiz here. Here is a picture of a moon phase. Which of the lettered positions best corresponds with the moon phase shown? I'll give you a moment. You may even hit pause here to go through the exercise of drawing in your sight lines and trying to visualize what position that phase would appear in. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to give that a try. The answer is position E. If we were to draw sight lines in, you would see that that position at E has just a very small portion of the moon illuminated, or the illuminated side visible from the Earth, and that illuminated portion is on the right. What phase is that? That is a waxing crescent. Again, a crescent shape, and it's waxing because it's going to be moving away from the sun in our sky, or it's moving toward in the direction of increasing amounts of illumination being viewed from the Earth.